So last night, Bernie Sanders did not have a good night. Now, he won Rhode Island, but lost Maryland, Connecticut, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. Now, there's roughly about 10 states left. Hillary Clinton will need about 600 more delegates in order to secure the nomination. Now that we do have 10 states left, if she wins big in a couple of them, it's almost over at this point. So, where does that leave us? Well, I'll get to that. But first, the media is, of course, calling for Bernie Sanders to leave, to go away. We're done with you. Last night, CNN didn't even bother to cover one of his amazing speeches. Instead, they had a camera on an empty Trump podium. That's ridiculous. But that pretty much sums up how the media has always treated Bernie Sanders. Even when he won 8 contests in a row, when he had momentum, when he was literally on fire, and everybody was feeling the burn, they still would dismiss him. When he won one of the most diverse states in the Union, Hawaii, also dismissed. And then later called too weird, too white. So we know the media, the establishment media, is always going to be against him, is always going to be against us, always against progressives. And that's fine, we're used to that, right? We don't really care. We're used to your snide condescension, who thinks that our ideas and our ideals are just unrealistic. To me, those people, those are defeatists. They've given up on progressivism. And you know why? It's because they've had their ass kicked by the right for 40 years. And they just simply have no fight left in them. I don't really blame them. I actually feel really sorry for them, how they don't fight anymore. And by voting for Hillary Clinton, they've accepted that there will be no change, because no change is possible. Now, I don't accept that. Now, I do know that I think that Bernie Sanders will most likely not be the nominee at this point. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't fight for progressive values. Bernie Sanders will fight for progressive values. And like it or not, he and the rest of us, we're riding this bitch all the way to the convention. All the way. It doesn't matter how much the media pressures us to back Hillary Clinton or for Bernie Sanders to get out. No, we're riding this bitch all the way. And there's no stopping us. There's no stopping the millions of people, almost half the voters who voted in the Democratic primaries so far, back Sanders because they believe in the policies presented by Sanders. That is why he should not go away, and neither should we. See, this is a movement. And movements like this one are hard. But in the end, progressives always do win. Change always wins in the end, despite the defeatists, the regressives, and the establishment. So what do we do? Well, in the states that haven't gone yet, I urge all of you Sanders supporters, vote. Go. Make your voice heard, man. He is going to that convention. So he needs to get every single delegate he can. It may not be enough, but get every delegate, because every delegate counts. Every single vote counts. I want you guys to make sure that Hillary Clinton works for every single one of them and has the toughest time getting that nomination. This will not be a cakewalk for her. This will not be a coronation for her. She's got to work for it, God damn it. Work for every single vote, just like we've been working for it. Because remember, she thought this was going to be easy. It wasn't. Despite the fact that she had the establishment on her side, the media, all sorts of name recognition, and for a while even the money. Until you guys, you showed how people working together can outraise a handful of corporations and wealthy millionaires and billionaires. And that is amazing. And that, I think, will forever change the notion of how politicians raise money for elections. We can change this conversation. We can change how politicians raise money. And we can change the establishment. It will take time and takes a lot of work, but that should be our focus, because that's Bernie's focus. Last night was not the end. Last night was the beginning. It's time to take what Bernie Sanders has accomplished and continue moving forward with it. Take it forward. And we have to make sure that the establishment continues feeling the burn long, long into the future.